Good morning. Happy March 2025. Stella Rose all day here. Just give me a minute to get my screen recorder on. As soon as my person enters the room that screen records, I will start talking about some things. Hello, everybody, and happy March for the people who are going to watch the replay. Just want to get caught up on some topics. I hope everybody's enjoying their spring. Okay, we are on. Thank you for screen recording, my Stella stalker. Let's get down to business. Let's get down to business. Okay, here we go. Spencer Pratt was the last person to do a live with Aaron Carter before he died. Spencer Pratt and Heidi Pratt's house burned down in the Pacific Palisades, but Tom's house, Pacific Palisades, did not burn down. Monique, from what I've been told, Los Angeles County doesn't want to pay to bring her remains up to the surface. So that's an issue that they're going to have to work out with the family, because they know where the remains are. They're exactly where I said they were, but they don't want to pay to bring the remains up to the surface. Now, the Menendez brothers. So, okay, here we go. So, when I was communicating with George Gascon's office and they agreed to re-examine Aaron Carter's case, everything was going along swimmingly until now. This is what I think happened, okay? I'm not saying this is what happened. I'm saying this is what me and some collaborators think happened, okay? So somebody recorded a conversation between Angel Hawansky and Melanie Martin, and in the conversation, Angel Hawansky is saying to Melanie to stick to the story, to the narrative about Aaron Carter having drug abuse and everything else, because of the money that Melanie was promised, which now we're learning was $100,000 up front and $500,000 from the estate. Is my volume up? Let me just make sure my volume is up. Wrong way. Okay, my volume's up now. Okay, so that happened in August, where allegedly, now this is just from speculation, the audio recording of Angel Hawansky and Melanie Martin was turned in. From there, Jason Vigor, the Los Angeles Sheriff's Department homicide detective working in the narcotics division, working on Aaron Carter's case, was killed driving 5 miles per hour. The other deputy was Deputy Jonathan Stewart. On April 27, 2024, Deputy Stewart, aged 41, was found unresponsive at the Los Angeles Sheriff's Station. So he died right at the sheriff's station, okay? Despite medical attention, he was pronounced dead at the scene. The medical examiner later determined that his death resulted from the effects of methamphetamine. Deputy Stewart had been with the department since 2006, serving in various capacities, including at the Inmate Reception Center in the South Los Angeles station. Okay, so, there was another Deputy Flores, who succumbed to injuries on April 20th, 2024, which he had sustained 6 months earlier due to a fire inside a mobile shooting range at the Pitchess Detention Center. Okay, so the one that I'm focused on is Deputy Jonathan Stewart, who was 41 years old, who died from methamphetamine, because the methamphetamine goes back to Monique Figueroa's case, okay? Now, so then, if the Menendez brothers get out, that's going to cause, it could possibly cause an obstacle for Sony Entertainment, Sony Music, okay? And so when I was getting somewhere with George Gascon's office re-examining Aaron Carter's case, then they have the evidence that came forward in basically implementing Angel Hawansky and Melanie Martin working together that came from allegedly a third party. So then they killed Jason Vigor, the homicide detective that I was working with, okay? But I just want to say that there are records of my communication with Jason Vigor and Los Angeles field office FBI agents that have been stored on a separate server somewhere else, okay? So there's other people that know about the information. So even if they do come after me, okay, which I'm sure they're going to try to find a way to retaliate against me. I mean, they've already tried to make me look crazy. They've already tried to come at me so many different ways. And this old girl just won't cave. I won't cave. I'm not going to cave. I'm not afraid of my life. I'm not afraid of a hitman. I'm not afraid of any of that. What I am afraid of is that people are going to continue to die like Jason Vigor, okay, covering up crimes for the elite. So, in my mind, it always goes back to the attorneys, okay, because they know how to move things around, especially to keep them off record. So, the other day we were talking about Aaron Carter, Melanie Martin, and I've been telling you this whole time, the police know that Melanie was there. They know. They know that she was there. They know the details, but they're not willing to prosecute her because of the Hollywood elite deals that they have going on. So what happened between August and September and then December? So August, Aaron Carter. September, Aaron Carter, Jason Vigor. September, Aaron Carter, the Menendez brothers. Then we have November. By December, Gascon's out of there. Now they have this guy. Now this guy, how I think that, okay, so here it says, before Aaron Carter's death, he hinted on social media and interviews about having damning evidence against music industry figures, including Sean Diddy Combs. There's a claim that leaked tapes tied Carter to Diddy, alleging he was about to expose sex trafficking parties. Then we find out about the USB drive that was missing, and remember that Melonia from Bologna said that Chris the realtor took the laptop computer to Salt Lake City where Taylor Helgeson lives, and we're going to talk about Black Prince in a minute. Okay. The release of the Menendez brothers might amplify public pressure or media attention, potentially encouraging other victims to speak out, as seen with movements like Me Too. If multiple ex-Menudo members emerge with credible claims tied to Jose's tenure, it could lead to a PR crisis for Sony Music or spark lawsuits attempting to leverage exceptions to statutes of limitations. So that's why all of a sudden they put the damper on that. But I do think that they will get out. Nathan Hodgman's career as a federal prosecutor from 1990 to 1997, Assistant U.S. Attorney General 2008, and private attorney defending high-profile clients would have put him in contact with entertainment industry figures. Jeffrey Korchak, he's on the Sony side, remember? The picture side. Korchak, with decades at Universal Pictures, Mattel, and Sony, operates in the same LA legal entertainment nexus. And so does Harvey from TMZ. Hodgman's private practice at firms like Bingham, McCutcheon, and Morgan, Lewis and Bockius, Bockius, likely involved corporate clients potentially intersecting with Korchak's business affairs work. Both are tied to LA's academic and professional elite. Hodgman clerked for Judge Stephen V. Wilson and graduated from Stanford Law, while Korchak has taught at USC and holds degrees from prestigious schools. USC, where Hodgman's wife Vivian Vela has ties as a former student or affiliate. So it's possible they're linking Hodgman and Korchak through the wife Vivian Vela. Hodgman's tenure as president of the LA City Ethics Commission involved oversight of government and business dealings, potentially brushing against entertainment industry lobbying or contracts where Korchak expertise at Sony or Mattel might have surfaced. Okay. Well, Hodgman's hard middle platform, especially if crime policies impacted Sony's operations or employees. Well, yeah. I mean, how many hits do you think Sony can take? They survived the Michael Jackson thing, but I mean, after that, what do you think? Okay, now, I mean, there's only so many hits that they can take. There's only so much money that can be passed around. Now let's talk about prawns. Okay, let's talk about prawns. Melanie Martin claims a DNA test with Angel Carter, Aaron's fraternal twin, showed a 99.7403% probability of relationship to Prince in September 2024 per TMZ and People. But TMZ and People are that's the entertainment family. It's the same narrative. See, they don't like it that I'm out here educating the masses because they want people to be sheep. They make money off of selling stories to the sheep. But if I'm educating you, telling you things that you otherwise wouldn't know, they don't like that because now they can't make money off of you being a dummy. She interprets this as proof Aaron is the father. However, this percentage reflects Angel's relation to Prince, likely as an aunt, sharing less than 25% DNA. Not a direct Aaron to Prince match. Without Aaron's DNA, it's not conclusive, and it doesn't address the racial industry-specific standard paternity tests normally do. So, I don't know if you've noticed, like other people, but Prince Lyric Helgeson has African American features. Now listen, I'm black is beautiful. Okay, the Kardashians went ahead and glorified biracial couples, and I mean naturally that's just going to happen in America. You know what I'm saying? Love isn't defined by skin color, so I'm not saying anything negative about Pratt being African American. What I'm saying is that Melanie, you shouldn't keep him from his ancestry or exploring his roots. You know what I'm saying? Like, you think that by dyeing Pratt's hair and probably bleaching his skin, because Sony's PR is Angel Hawansky, and she was the fixer, but I don't know, I think she should get fired because she really just made more of a mess out of everything. But anyway, okay. Okay, so Prince being biracial while Aaron wasn't African presents a compelling visual discrepancy. I mean, I don't know if any of you guys have noticed, but Aaron Carter was about as white on rice could be. It's a legitimate reason to question the narrative, especially since Melanie's DNA test with Angel isn't public or directly from Aaron. If Prince's father were someone with African ancestry, example Taylor Helgeson, whom was mentioned earlier, it could explain Prince's appearance better than Aaron's lineage. Okay, so basically, there's no public test that has mapped Prince's full ancestry, but a 23andMe would confirm African heritage, okay? And they haven't ruled that out, okay? What they're saying is that nobody has contested Melanie's DNA test or Melanie's claim. Nobody in court so far has contested that Aaron was a DNA match to Prince. But if somebody were to contest Melanie's DNA test in court in regards to Aaron's estate, that's where she would get caught up, because the test that she used isn't public. And as a matter of fact, it is, hold on, I want to use the exact words that I was told. Another man with African ancestry could be Prince's biological father. If Prince is visibly biracial with African ancestry and neither Aaron nor Melanie has documented African heritage, this could raise questions about Aaron's biological connection to Prince. Genetically, for Prince to exhibit such traits, one parent would need to contribute African DNA. Since Melanie's background appears European, the focus shifts to the father. Aaron, lacking African ancestry, wouldn't typically produce a child with pronounced biracial features. Okay. Now, scientifically, Angel, as Aaron's fraternal twin, shares about 50% of his DNA on average, not 100% like identical twins. A test showing 99.7403 probability between Angel and Prince suggests a close familial link, consistent with Angel being Prince's aunt if Aaron were the father. However, this isn't direct proof of Aaron's paternity, it's only circumstantial. Only Aaron's DNA compared to Prince could yield a near 100% match. Example, 99.99%. For conclusive paternity, Bob Carter, as Aaron's father, could have provided a partial match, sharing 25% with Prince as grandfather, but he's deceased and no evidence suggests his DNA was tested. California Evidence Code Section 892 allows DNA evidence in court, but it doesn't restrict sources to the alleged father or grandfather. It accepts any relevant genetic material interpreted by experts. Angel's DNA could be admissible to infer paternity, though less definitive than Aaron's. Melanie's test, while not public, likely aimed to reinforce, not legally establish, paternity for public perception. Right. So, without Melanie releasing the full DNA report or a court-ordered test being made public, there's no definitive, independently verified DNA proof accessible to us. So there's a gap there. So it's her assertion versus tangible evidence. Okay, so again, she's asserting that that test is good enough to prove paternity, but it's not. but somebody would have to contest that with the estate. But what I think happened was is ooh, I think what happened was is that when I called out the executor for colluding with Spencer Williams, they bypassed that by making the estate insolvent, so Melanie wouldn't get anything through the estate, so the executor wouldn't be liable, the state of California wouldn't be liable. It basically is an out for them. So Melanie won't get paid. Now, the news that I received the other day about the FBI having the information, allegedly, about the missing USB drive that Aaron Carter had of an A-list actor abusing minors. I mean, come on, how deep does this go? You know what I'm saying? How deep does it go? Wow. Okay. Do I think that they're going to retaliate against me for telling the truth to the public? Yeah, but they've been doing it the whole time. The whole time they've been doing it, you guys. The whole time they've been doing it. The whole time they've been doing it. Because the music industry's in a world of hurt. Hollywood's burning down. You know Karen Bass, in my opinion, started the fires because they had to burn the evidence. I mean, the leaked Bass phone call. The video on TikTok about me talking about Spencer Pratt being the last person that Aaron Carter talked to over a live feed was the one that basically got me in trouble on TikTok. And I'm not going back on TikTok because there's evidence stored on my account on TikTok and I can't give them a reason to pull it. They're already screwing around with the number of views. One video had almost 3,000 views, then it went to 0. And then, I mean, they're just zeroing out the views. So I don't want to get anybody else also associated to that account in trouble or their accounts in trouble because they are really sharing out the information about Aaron Carter. But ever since the ban on TikTok, when TikTok came back, Mark Zuckerberg is the largest shareholder. So that's for me because, I mean, he openly admitted that he suppresses information and was basically, you know, he said that the Biden administration basically, you know, made him suppress information, you know, with the Democrats and everything else. So they're doing the same thing to me. They don't want the information to get out there. I think the reason why they haven't brought me into court is because they don't want discovery to be opened, which that would be a plus for me. They know that I have lawyers lined up, so taking me to court isn't going to really do anything for them except for put them under a larger microscope. Them trying to deal with me on a personal level, sending people after me, they've done it time and time and time again, and I have it all documented, which makes me have a libel, slander, and defamation case against them because I've already tied them all together. So, I mean, I have records, in legal records, consulting with attorneys, judges, dating back a year already on this, since they started a year ago harassing me. And so, I mean, I don't think them taking me out is going to solve their problem. Their problem is basically out of control at this point. And what'll end up happening is it'll just be every man for themselves because they can't cover it up anymore because of. But the problem is that the FBI has information. Here's what I want to say on my behalf. I want to speak up on my behalf. I think that it's pretty crappy that the FBI knows that the information that I gave them, they have on file, is accurate about Aaron Carter and about them threatening me and about them threatening my siblings and the family business and everything else that goes along with it, and then basically looking the other way. How much money exactly does the big umbrella have that continues to pay out? So it said that the reason why they can shut down Aaron Carter's case is because of the coroner's report that the sheriff submitted, although they know it's bullshit and a lie, that they have to be able to get petitioned. There's enough signatures to petition Nathan's office to get Aaron's case reopened, okay, through the Diddy case, okay, which I don't even think that's Diddy in jail, and I don't think that Epstein killed himself. How about that Walt Disney Cruise Line was sending kids to St. James Island? How do you like that one? Did you guys see that? Hold on, let me show you. Let me show you that one. Hold on. Disney Cruise Line, from August 15, 2009 to 2018, Disney was sending kids to Jeffrey Epstein's island for snorkeling trips. The Disney cruise ship stopped at Little St. James Island for day trips for years, despite Epstein's history of pedophilia. Be whisked away aboard the captain's RIB powerboat to a pair of sun-soaked snorkeling sites and prepare for an adventure like no other. Journey to the picturesque Turtle Cove, Buck Island, and immerse yourself in an underwater wonderland where you're invited to swim and snorkel amidst the school of sea turtles and for approximately 1 hour. Afterward, make your way to the second snorkel stop, Little St. James Island, where curious fish dart back and forth in the clear blue water, and colorful coral formations nestle next to amazing underwater formations. Afterward, enjoy a beverage and snack before making your way back to St. Thomas Harbor. So then that means that they're going to have to do the flight logs from August 15th, 2009 to 2018, because Disney for 9 years was dropping people off at Epstein's Island. See that? Epstein's Island. Disney. It's your Disney. Isn't that nice? So, I don't know if this one's true, but I got this one too. Gene Hackman. I have incriminating evidence against Hillary Clinton I plan to release. I can no longer keep quiet. February 25th, 2025. I don't know, guys. They might mummify me. But you know what? Let me tell you something. Okay, so again, I just want to reiterate one thing about Angel Hawansky, okay? Hawansky worked as a celebrity publicist representing clients like Aaron Carter during her parts of his career, and she's known for her work in Hollywood PR through her company Angel Hawansky LLC. So you want to go through the Angel Hawansky LLC, not Yuri Entertainment, okay? So that's how she would have met Jeffrey Korchak, who would have been the connection to Nathan in the Los Angeles district attorney's office. And they're thinking that they met through Hotchman's wife, Vivian Vela. But again, that's just speculation. I mean, I hope they don't take me out, but I mean, anything's possible. But here's how I feel. Um, I want to be able to, being down here on Earth, serve a purpose and uncover corruption, and also let them know that, like, your old ways don't work anymore. Like, obviously, Angel Hawansky isn't much of a fixer because she got caught up. So the idea is that Melanie was doing an interview about Aaron Carter, and that's when the interaction between her and Angel Hawansky was recorded. Yeah. Hold on a second. So I gotta go. I'll talk to you later. Bye. I gotta go.